Just over 3 weeks before the US presidential election, though we know that this time more people will be opting to vote via the postal system. Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail after his bout with coronavirus. Let's get the latest from our Washington correspondent, Simon Marks. Hi there, Simon. So Donald Trump back on the campaign trail with a bang in Florida today, I understand.
Yes, absolutely. He'll be heading there from Washington, D.C. Pretty soon. He's going to be hosting his first campaign rally since his bout of COVID-19. We still haven't seen clarity from the White House as to whether he's actually tested negative for COVID-19. He claimed over the weekend that he's now immune from the virus, although Twitter slapped a warning on that claim on its social media platform because there hasn't been any proof whatsoever that that is the case, nor indeed would any doctor be able to tell the president definitively how long he might have immunity after having managed to win his battle with COVID-19. But look, Sal, he's got an enormous amount of work to do. I mean, it's tempting on the one hand to say 22 days till election day, but the reality is the polls are now already open in 40 of America's 50 states. So all over the country, people are already voting in very large numbers. More than 4 million people have already cast their ballots. He is way behind Joe Biden in the vast majority of opinion polls. They show Joe Biden with a double-digit lead over President Trump. And I think the real question for the next week or two is, can he finally find a way of offering a disciplined and focused message? You know, there are all sorts of areas where he could be making headway against the Democrats. We don't know what Joe Biden's national strategy is for combating COVID-19. The Democrats have provided no detail on that whatsoever. We don't know if the Democrats intend to enlarge the Supreme Court in a bid to try and dilute the conservative influence of justices that may soon dominate that court. Joe Biden says he won't tell the American people if he's going to put additional justices on the court until after the election. That's an extraordinary thing to be saying to voters who are about to make a huge decision in this November's election. But from Donald Trump, we've seen no discipline. Instead, he spent all of last week talking about Hillary Clinton's emails, his insistence that Joe Biden and Barack Obama should be arrested for this sort of fictional, unsubstantiated coup that he said they were plotting against his government. And as a result, last week was a complete loss for him and for his campaign.
What about the presidential debates? Are they definitely not happening at all, whether virtual or not?
Well, definitely this Thursday's is off. The Commission on Presidential Debates scrubbed it late last week, and after an enormous amount of back and forth, with President Trump insisting he wouldn't agree to participate in a virtual debate, he would only do in person, and he wanted it to be a week later. The Commission on Presidential Debates said, forget it, number 2 is off. At the moment, debate number 3 is still due to be taking place on October the 22nd. That will return to the format that we saw in the first debate, Joe Biden and Donald Trump going up against one another. It won't be the town hall format that we were supposed to see in the second debate. So, look, I think there are still huge questions as to whether we will see another debate, but if we do see one, and it is the two of them once again going head-to-head, without the moderator being given any kind of a mute button to silence their microphones, it's likely to be as deeply unedifying and uninformative as that first debate a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and as you say, they're really important issues that the Democrats need to answer that the American public are not hearing about. Talk to me about the polls. You say that Joe Biden's looking good. Hillary Clinton looked good. She actually won the popular vote, but ultimately Donald Trump took the presidential vote. So tell me something. How far ahead is Joe Biden? Because I'm reading that it's quite historic, the lead he's got. Is that true?
Well, it is. It's historic, both in national terms and also in the battleground states. His lead over Donald Trump is wider in many of those key swing states than Hillary Clinton attained in the lead up to the 2016 election. Look at Florida, for example. It's a state Donald Trump has to win if he's going to return to the Oval Office for 4 more years. Joe Biden in the latest polling is around 4 or 5% ahead of Donald Trump there, even though Joe Biden's been having difficulties with some Latino voters in the state who aren't backing him. So that's one reason why President Trump is heading there. Ohio, a state that President Trump won by 8 points, now looks like it may be increasingly in Joe Biden's corner. So these are big problems for President Trump to turn around. The polling clearly shows that his support is collapsing in 2 identifiable demographic communities. Women in America's suburbs. And remember, it was suburban voters just outside Philadelphia in Pennsylvania who largely delivered Donald Trump victory in 2016. Those numbers are in free fall. Also with older voters, retirees, voters over the age of 65. And that's one reason why Donald Trump is hitting the campaign trail today in Florida, going to a retirement community there that is absolutely must win for him. And it's another reason why he has told his campaign managers, regardless of whatever is going on behind the scenes with his health, he intends now to be on the road every single day, making the case for his re-election all the way up to Election Day on November the 3rd. Say one thing about Donald Trump. He is indefatigable in terms of the fight that he puts up. Now we need to see if he can come up with a disciplined message that will bring him over the line.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Simon Marks in Washington. That's our